Welcome to Film Riot. Today we're getting into the Thor VFX Challenge winners, which we'll get to in a minute. But before we do that, I wanted to address the last contest we did, the Filmstro 1-minute competition, which had a lot of negative comments in that video, which revealed the winners to my massive surprise. And we're gonna discuss it in two stages. Stage one, y'all salty. You're salty and you need to be less salty. Stage two, I hear you, and we're going to do better. So stage one is mostly just me saying this with complete and total love and concern for those who have this mindset. So first of all, a lot of the comments were saying that it was unfair because these people had gear or were already skilled or had a budget, which to me, I watched all of these seeing the shoestrings, and for me, I could tell that all of these didn't have a budget, and I talked to some of the creators of some of these shorts, and sure enough, I was 100% right, including the winner, which everybody had the biggest problem with. Everything was borrowed and favors, and the guys with the gear that wasn't bought gear. Those were guys who play airsoft very seriously and are friends of the creator, and they just came out to help out. So it was him pulling the resources he had. So it was him doing what Film Riot always talks about. Look at what you have and write something about that to try to make the most impressive thing you possibly can. The camera that they shot on was borrowed, and I think he said that in total, it cost him out of pocket $65 for lunch. Now, people are always talking about, well, your camera was this camera or that camera, and that was expensive, and the software you use is expensive. This is stuff that you work on over a very long period of time to pull together. So using it in that way doesn't really make any sense to me. If he would have shot it on a GoPro, I probably would have had the same reaction. And some of the winners could have been shot on an iPhone, for all I know. And I believe the winner shot on a Red camera, but I thought it was an A7S. So what camera you shoot on doesn't matter. It's how you use the camera. In fact, my favorite cinematography of all the winners was actually shot on, I believe, an A7S, and it did not look like an A7S. It looked like it could have been an Alexa because of the skill that went into actually utilizing the tools that he had. It's all about the talent behind the camera, not the gear. So everybody was saying that they thought Film Riot was all about, it's not about the gear, but it seems like they are. No, the best cinematography, in my opinion, was maybe one light, it seemed like, from their BTS, a camera, no matte box, no filters. It was very DIY, very run and gun, very guerrilla, but just with a lot of talent. And the reason these comments really concern me is because having that attitude is going to hurt no one but you. Having the attitude of, oh, of course they win, why even bother, is only going to lead to failure. The attitude should be nothing more than, yes, theirs was better than mine, but watch what I do with the next one. That has always been my attitude, and that is the attitude of everyone that I know that is successful, and that should 100% be your attitude. Don't feel defeated just because you didn't get this one. Use that as fuel to do the next one 10,000 times better. That's how you should be thinking. If you're not thinking that way, you're not going to make it in this industry. There is no participation award in life, and there's no participation award in the industry, and I'm just very concerned that with those of you that do have that mindset, that's going to eventually be a block from you really hitting the goals that you want to hit. Because with this industry, again, it can be nothing but sledgehammers to walls 24/7 with nothing stopping you or tripping you up. And I'm saying that all with love. I love you guys a ton. If I didn't, I wouldn't say it at all. I'm honestly concerned that the mindset could stop you from achieving your dreams, and I do not want that to happen. You have to just keep pushing forward. And again, all of the winners were all zero budget things, all borrowed and favors, just like what we always do, just like what Film Riot's all about, showing that with $0, you can make it look like a lot of money. So if anything is to be said of the winner, it's to be said that they're doing exactly what is the mindset of Film Riot, taking no money, grabbing as many favors as you possibly can, and making something that looks like it costs a lot of money. However, phase two, I do hear you, and I do see what you're saying as far as we need to figure out a better way to structure this. We do have a huge community of people that start from the brand new 13-year-old filmmaker to the very seasoned filmmaker that's actually doing larger work. So we need to figure out a way to level the playing playing field a little bit, and we're going to start thinking about that going forward. Also, more specific rules going forward so people know what they're getting into. So we're going to go back to the drawing board and figure out a way to make all of this work a lot better for you guys, because although I don't agree with the mindset, I do hear what you're saying underneath that, where it's coming from, and I do want to make this a lot better going forward and make it more fair overall. But enough of the housekeeping, and again, please don't take any of that in the wrong way. I truly am saying that with love and out of concern for all of you guys, and I do hear what you're saying, and I do appreciate you guys commenting. Just in the future, maybe a little less salty. We do listen to what you guys have to say, so give your feedback. We want to hear it. We want to do better. We want to make these contests better. We want to make the show better, and we want to make a better community. So what you think really does matter to us, and we really are listening and going through and reading it all. But now let's move on to some more contest winners with our Thor VFX challenge, jumping in with the first one. This one had the top creative points, in my opinion. I love that everything was altered from what it initially was to turn into something else entirely, which is what I love about filmmaking. You can really do that. You can turn everything into a magic trick and take one thing and make it something it was never intended to be, just by clever editing and visual effects, music, and so on. And you really nailed it with this one, so nicely done. But moving on to our second winner.
Why's your hammer so tiny? How'd it get so tiny, bro? Like you washed it and then dried it.
Will nothing impress you people?
I'm impressed by how small that hammer is.
Why are you wearing a Green Lantern sweater?
But yeah, isn't Thor Marvel?
Aren't you the host of Variant? Aren't you the Variant host?
Don't you host Variant?
Wouldn't the Variant host know that?
I literally have lightning flowing through my veins.
Does that ever match the rug?
How'd
What?
it get so small?
So teeny.
Teeny tiny.
Itty little bitty thing.
Tinky little winky.
Teeny tiny tinky.
Tinky winky little star.
Tinker Tailor Soldier. Bye.
Itty bitty.
Where'd it go?
Small one.
So small.
Itsy bitsy spider. You're talking about his wiener, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Non-long John.
he's not here anymore.
Okay.
This was the funniest of the bunch, I thought. There was a lot of Star Wars versions sent in, especially with the hammer being turned into that specific lightsaber, but this is the only one that had me and Josh as droids with "Hello, my name is" on our chest, which had me laughing pretty hard. I just adored that we were turned into droids, so nicely done. Huge creative points on that one. But now, moving on to our number one, our best submission of the bunch, and that is also, in my opinion, the best visual effects of the bunch.
Why's your hammer so tiny? How'd it get so tiny, bro? It's like you washed it and then dried it.
This was definitely the best visual effects of the bunch. Made me laugh very hard that the cup was knocked out of your hand. Loved the tiny hammer thing. A lot of people did that, but I thought this was handled the best overall. Loved how the model matched the hammer that you put in his hand. The compositing was really well done. The sky, the beam from the sky, all of it really, really nicely handled. So great job overall, and you are the first place winner, so you're getting the whole kit and caboodle. But I couldn't pick from just three, so we're doing a bunch of runner-ups, and I'm going to give everybody who was a runner-up our new sound design toolkit pack, because it was just too good. It was impossible just to whittle this to just three. They're just too good. So now we're just going to do a supercut of all of my favorite ones, and we're going to be contacting you all so you could get your delicious runner-up prizes, but go ahead and take a look at some of my favorites.
literally have lightning flowing through my veins.
Why is your hammer so tiny?
There's nothing more discouraging than having a pile of overdue paperwork just sitting there staring at you while you try to work or do anything you enjoy at all. Well, our friends at FreshBooks have their cloud accounting software that will give you more time to do the work you love and not be bogged down by the paperwork demon. FreshBooks has been redesigned from the ground up and custom built for the way that you work. It's the easiest way to be more productive, organized, and most importantly, get paid quickly. The all-new FreshBooks is not only ridiculously easy to use, it's also packed full of powerful features. You can create and send professional-looking invoices in less than 30 seconds, set up online payments with just a couple of clicks, and get paid up to 4 days faster. See when your client has seen your invoice and put an end to the guessing games. And FreshBooks is giving you a free 30-day unrestricted trial. All you have to do is go to freshbooks.com/Film Riot and enter Film Riot in the How Did You Hear About Us section.
Logo.
So that's it for today. A big thank you to everyone who submitted for the Thor VFX challenge. It was really fun going through all of them, and I did laugh a lot. It was just riddled with all kinds of really creative submissions. And check the notes below. We put links for all of our favorites down there for you to check out in full as well. And to the Filmstro winners, we did get your info off to Filmstro, so we're going to be getting you your prizes as soon as possible, and we will be contacting the Thor winners as soon as possible as well to get you all your goodies. And of course, going forward, we are listening and we are going to figure out a way to do better with the rules and expectations and leveling the playing field a little bit more. Not 100% sure how we're going to do that just yet, but we're going to put our brains to it and figure out a way. If you have some suggestions, put them below. We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say as always. And now for what I'm watching, I just watched a documentary called 7852, which is a look at the making of Psycho, and is a really great documentary with people like Guillermo del Toro and Walter Murch in there talking about it. Elijah Wood and his buddies from their production company, giving lots of insights and sort of a deep dive into basically the Psycho as a whole, but with a focus on the shower scene for sure. So it's very fascinating. Definitely check that out. You can rent it on iTunes for sure, and I'm sure other places as well. And until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.